Individual terms, he played really well last week. 0 interceptions, 3 touchdown passes. Not a whole lot more he could have done to win that game. But you know something's funny, when we talked to him, all he focused on were throws he missed, other opportunities that didn't get done.
Good sign of a leader.
Great sign of a leader, because they didn't win, and that's all he cares about.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Jameis to throw it. And a catch right side by Evans. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Jets have recovered.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. On play action, they'll throw. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Tyrone Crawford able to collect. The pocket, get to him, and drop him for a loss of a yard. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. Over the middle, it's Holmes. And all the way down to the 10-yard line. Big yardage that time for the Jets. And even 40 yards. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Steps away to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Play fake. Winston. He's going to wind up and air it out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. That one good for 37 yards.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover or put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. Ertz has it left side. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the first. Down. Play action now. Winston. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Cameron Hayward. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left.
And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Winston now. This one complete to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do in that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 23, 30, the 20, 10, and at the end of it, he stripped. Ball comes loose. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see
rush coming, and he's taken down. Aaron Donald. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, and needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down, and they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down, but guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
Well, very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. 11 yards there, first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Out of the gun now on third down. He gets it to Brown, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. First down now, but that clock rolling.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll drop the throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. If you're a lover of offense, this has not been the half for you thus far. Luckily for me, though, I'm sitting next to a lover of defense, and we have had plenty of that, including that interception.
Yeah, and I mean, that still makes it a great game, doesn't it? Everybody talks about if the ball's not in the end zone and points going up on the board, it's not as much fun. I love these defensive battles. Something's got to give with these turnovers. Who can convert them into points?
A second down throw for Winston. Throw left side taken in by Miller. And now look at him go. 20. And deep he goes into Jets territory before being taken down. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the red zone now, Winston. This will be caught just inside the 10. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. From 8 yards out, and the Bengals are in for 6.
Winston's pass complete to number 86.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after.
Cincinnati.
And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals.
Makes the score. Bengals 7.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. The New York set to take the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality? Of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission.
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that.
Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And all the way in, touchdown, New York. Antonio Brown, 75 yards. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house. Yeah,
it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Here we go.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. He's still having trouble moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, so much for halftime adjustment. Sometimes the best adjustment you make is no adjustment. You just do things better. But in this case, I think an adjustment was in order. They may have to change up and start throwing the ball around a little bit more.
2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. On first down, here's Love. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Demario Davis. What persistence, and that persistence pays off. Tracks him down for a 19-yard loss.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels? So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
Towards the end zone for Brown, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his second interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Running to start the drive is Love. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
From the 30 on second down, Winston. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Completion left side to Miller. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Anthony Miller, 43 yards. And the Bengals have taken the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the fourth quarter. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34. He's got a man, complete. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And all the way in, touchdown, New York. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now back out comes the offense. When you talk to these guys in training camp, these are the moments they say they live for. You're in a playoff game. It's tied, fourth quarter. Time for somebody to step up.
And can you execute under pressure? Because the pressure is intense right now. No one wants to be responsible for making the error that costs their team. But at the same time, who's going to be responsible for making the play that gives the advantage to your team? Who's going to break out? Just what you said.
On the carry, it's Love. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw is Winston. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Avery Williamson gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be taken at the 13. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Kill. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. Check 4. Go, Mike 51.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far, they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. It's Coleman here. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. It's a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are going to take the lead.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now, on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
Winston readies the offense. Down 21-14, a minute 24 to go. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Back to throw.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Here's Winston. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down. And an alley to run. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30. 10. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. On the crossing route, complete. That's Holmes. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Holmes. Now they get the timeout. It leads you to wonder, will they kick it here or risk running another play and possibly not getting down in time? We'll see. So it's all up to the other Matty Ice, Matt Bryant now. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So it's all up to the other Matty Ice, Matt Bryant now. This to book a trip to the AFC title game. And his kick is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. Well, sometimes you get a mismatch in these divisional round games. Not here. This has been everything we could have hoped for.
Okay, Brandon, don't get mad at me, but it's time for the old cliche.
Bring it.
Neither of these teams deserves to lose, but in the end, it's looking like the late field goal is going to be the difference in this game.
That's a good cliche. We'll let that one go. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium. You have an injury from the last game. See how long they'll be out. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the AFC Championship game on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Jets. With that, we head up to MetLife Stadium as we'll hand it over to the two men that'll call the action, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it's the NFL playoffs on EA Sports. No bigger stage than this one. Sold out MetLife Stadium, located just outside of New York City. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between our visitors and the New York Jets. Hello, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. The postseason continuing here on EA Sports. And, man, it is electric in here, and it should be conference championship time.
I don't know about you, but my butterflies in my stomach, they have iron wings in this one. And every guy I've ever talked to has all said the same thing. This game, the conference championship game, may have more intensity than even the Super Bowl because you know what the stakes are. You're trying so hard to get to the big game that this is the one that's the real challenge.
The winner here goes to the Super Bowl, and we'll know soon enough which team that'll be as we are underway in the AFC title game. This will be fielded at the 8, and he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page. To the sports section where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
They'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. They go play action here on first down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. J.J. Watt. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. On 2nd and 12, Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Avery Williamson. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. J.J. Watt able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. Carr. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Got him in, it's Brown. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Carr now to throw. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Cameron Hayward, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now Carr over the middle. He's got his tight end Ingram. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The New York set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Now he goes spin. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And picked up by the Chargers.
We gonna shut you down. We gonna shut you down.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough?
And he lost the football. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
They're going to try and throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Stone. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. Well, that's one of those in-between spots. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route, the drag, and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
AFC title game, 2nd quarter action, 2 minutes to play. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Avery Williamson picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted. And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defense.
And Browns got it. Touchdown, Chargers. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And this one's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Looking to throw. And Miller with it over the middle. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Adrian Colbert, he was right there in coverage. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Throwing on first down is Carr, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. There he goes right side, and it's a touchdown for the Jets. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. So we come upon halftime, and who has time for a halftime show with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line? Let's get back to it. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held him in check on the scoreboard. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 51 yards. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A good response by the defense, sending them backwards after that huge gain last play.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive. Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a third down stop by them.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The safety, Patrick Chung, is the one who makes the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It's been a struggle for him accruing yards in this game passing the football, so there he said, hey, I'm going to try to chuck it deep, but another incompletion. It got his man complete, and he takes it all the way down to the 32. It's a big play there for the Jets on third down, and even 40 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football. All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there if he got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr over the middle here to Brown. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Chargers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Bounced right back on it, keeps possession. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Markevius Mingo able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts. Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it. What people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Boy, you talk about not playing it safe. Why were they going for it there, Charles?
It's got to be a full evaluation of their team. Do they trust their defense in this situation? Maybe they think they've given all they can in this game and they don't have anything left. Do they not trust that the other team's quarterback is just so hot that no matter where they get the ball, they go downfield? Remember when Bill Belichick went for it in that game, right, against Indianapolis on the road, and everybody said, why'd you go for it there? I think he just thought to himself, on the other side, if they get the ball, they're going downfield anyway. He was trying to end the game right there with his own offense.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he gets it down to the 32. The reception good for 7. It's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball.
Oh, no, he lost the football. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tendrick Thompson. Back to throw. We'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the fourth.
Man, you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's second and goal. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Yep, the opportunity squashed. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. He's got a first down past the 30. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. From the gun, it's a handoff to Coleman. Chargers going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On first down, Coleman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And the AFC champion has been crowned onto the Super Bowl. There cannot be a better feeling than this.
It's almost indescribable. And when we talk to players from the past, a lot of them mention getting to the Super Bowl, winning a conference championship, even before they talk about the Super Bowl itself. All that hard work to get to your goal, incredible.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Start your week by installing your game plan.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Chicago Bears. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 55, as we'll get you over to Tampa. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Make it a good one, gents.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rearview mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
After all the talk, it's time for football, and here we go. Super Bowl 55 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. Commanding the offense will be the highly touted USC product, Sam Darnold. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. A deep ball for Gurley. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. With a first touchdown of the Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Bears have taken the early lead. So a long play for our first points in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and what we see here is something that we saw all year long from them. The ability to strike from anywhere on the field. How about the way they got it started in this one?
Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Right back to Coleman here on 1st down. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Now the Auburn product, Corey Graham. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
You've seen me out here. That's right. We can't be stopped.
Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
And a look now at how the Jets line up defensively.
Malcolm Jenkins entered the NFL as a cornerback and has transitioned to safety, but still retains his good coverage skills.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Here's Darnold. And he's got his man. It's the tight end play. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
A gain of 6 there on first. Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage is coming through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
That's complete, right around the 8. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Toward the pylon, caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Bears will extend their lead.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. New York set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Tyus Bowser able to get him down for a loss of 11, and it brings up 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Darnold now to throw, and it's a fumble. Pushing his way through. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team...
And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Now as we look down, it appears we've got a jet shaking up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
You better be afraid of me.
On play action, they'll throw. That's complete to his running back, Grant.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's got a man. It's Mitchell. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry.
And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. 2 minutes remain in this opening half of Super Bowl 55. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Andre Holmes that time, and it's 3rd down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Well, you could just see this one coming, couldn't you? It's an obvious passing situation, 3rd and long. The defense is going to bring in 2 more defensive backs and say, you want to throw? Go ahead. We dare you. And it's just no one open anywhere as they come away with the interception.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley, but it'll be 2nd down. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. On first down, Darnold.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. They went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Man open right side, it's the tight end Clay. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Jets on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in Super Bowl 55 as we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. Thus far, this Super Bowl has looked less like a contest and more like a coronation. And to call the second half, let's get it right back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. Both teams ready after the halftime spectacle, and we are back underway in Super Bowl 55. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. New York set to take the field. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go deep. He's got a man. Complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 78 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion. And that's
blitz coming, and down he goes. Von Miller came in there hard on the blitz. blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now on 2nd and 13, Darnold. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Darnold over the middle and caught by the tight end play. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And Gurley, he fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And it's scooped up by the Jets. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Von Miller, his 2nd sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His 2nd sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all of your points because a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Chicago Bears. With that, it's time for Super Bowl 55, as we'll get you over to Tampa. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Make it a good one, gents.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. I'm Brandon Gaudin. To my left is my good friend Charles Davis, and what a thrill to be here for the biggest one of them all, the Super Bowl. And it seems to get bigger every year. The lights get brighter, the cameras more numerous. I don't know, there's just so much that goes into this game. It's an honor to be here, isn't it?
It is an honor, and I can't wait to share this game with you. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. You're my partner, my best friend. I can't imagine being anywhere else but right here with you. And just think about it this way. You mentioned the magnitude. This is no longer just a game for America or even North America. This is worldwide. People watching from just about every country in the world. This is impressive.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and just about ready to roll. After all the talk, it's time for football, and here we go. Super Bowl 55 is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and third pick in the 2018 draft. On 1st and 10, Darnold. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is Darnold. This complete to the tight end, Clay. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now it's Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
You know, I have to be really happy after that play. The offensive line, to be able to create space in that situation when everything's jammed in and everyone knows you're going to run it, that's a big time.
Yeah, because you're probably just thinking, hey, let's get to the 4 or 5 and get some breathing room, right?
That's all you're asking for. That's all your punter's asking for. Instead, he's not necessary now.
And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 47 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. 2nd and 6. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
What partner they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Well, they may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And quickly the starting 11 now for the New York defense. Cameron
Hayward is a defensive lineman. But many of us, especially guys of my vintage, remember his father, Craig Ironhead Hayward, who was a running back. I think Cameron decided he'd rather hit people than be hit.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On the handoff, it's Gurley. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Geno Atkins got home that time.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing, the O-line coach will.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Number 53, Mike 53.
On 2nd down now, it's Coleman. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down. Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback. And the pressure gets to him again.
So once again, they dial up the pressure and get home and get a sack. It brings up a 3rd and long, but it's really not an unmakeable one, especially considering they just gave up back-to-back sacks.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. On 3rd down, here's Coleman. And this play